Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our listeners and viewers, wherever you are watching us from. I welcome you to today's Voices, the podcast that amplifies young people's voices. And today we are having exciting news where we are introducing a new series called The Solution Generation. And today we are launching our first episode where we are going to looking at the issue of youth empowerment and youth employment. So today I've been joined with incredible guests today that will be sharing and articulating more information on what can we do to empower young people. So today I introduce you to Itai and Eve. So you guys, you can introduce yourself starting from you, Itai.
Okay, thank you. My name is Itai Zmunya. I'm not a youth anymore,
Okay.
but very passionate about youth issues. And I'm a business person. I'm an economist by training. I'm a writer as well. I've written, published a book. And I train youngsters every day.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Itai, and we are here to be trained by you. Thank you so much. Okay, Eve, you can introduce yourself.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Eva Joichi Dindi Musi. I am a political analyst and a policy analyst. I also do political consultancy and I analyze politics and current affairs.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Welcome to our podcast. I'm so glad to having you here. So today our theme is from resume to revenue, the young entrepreneur's journey. So we just want to know from you and hear much from you. What does this mean from you? From CV to revenue, the young entrepreneur's journey. Maybe just from you, Itai.
Okay, thank you. So the world has changed.
Okay.
And if I can just give you a brief, kind of history and historical changes that have happened in Zimbabwe,
Okay.
possibly post-colonial Africa, but I'll just limit myself to Zimbabwe.
Okay.
So in 1982, in Zimbabwe, that was 2 years after independence, if one were a grade 7 or a Form 2, they would become a headmistress or headmaster. They would become automatically a teacher. They would be sought after.
Okay.
10 years later, 1992, to be grade 7 or Form 2 was not enough. You needed to have some college qualification,
Okay.
for you to be headmistress or headmaster. 10 years later, into 2002, you needed at least an undergrad, 10 years later, in 2012, at least people now demanded that one have a master's degree. Now, the challenge in Zimbabwe, be it in Bulawayo or Harare, everybody is studying towards, a PhD, and people are even buying fake PhDs, to want to improve their CVs. There's a rate race, on LinkedIn. People, have an MBA, and that's junk.
Yeah.
Where we are at the present moment, I think the resume is now a fad that is an old-fashioned thing. What we now need are grade 7s with skills.
Yeah. Thank you so much. This sounds profound. Okay, what about you, Eve?
Thank you so much for that. I think from my own view, there are just a lot of, it's now an easy journey.
Okay.
From Form 4 to Form 6, from Form 6 to a degree, it's now too easy.
Yeah.
It's now too simplified.
Okay.
I think that is where the problem is coming from. If the examinations that are written are from Form 4 and Form 6 are a little bit tough, or if there is a sort of a bottleneck system, I think we would now value the degree that we have. But because everyone is getting 10 A's, 20 A's, 35 A's, and someone is even writing 10 subjects at A level, it's making it simple. It's making it, to seem like it doesn't have value anymore. So I think that is where the problem is. We need to fix from there for there to be revenue after education.
Okay, thank you so much. So I think from my understanding, guys, we are really learning and we have knowledge. But I'm not sure now where we are missing it. So maybe if you can articulate, people have knowledge, but in terms of the real issues that are happening on our daily issues, on our daily lives, I'm educated, I've got my bachelor's degree, I've got my master's, but I don't have job. So maybe if you can walk me through, how can I balance that? I have my master's degree, but I want something to do. How can I balance from having my CV, from having my degree or my master's, from having a real job, from doing something?
Okay, thank you. So I mean, look, we all go through orientation. So if one, goes to college, be it a teacher's college, polytech, or university, the first lecture you get from the lecturers is that the degree that you are studying or the course that you are studying is simply there to open your mind.
Okay.
It is not the money giver.
Okay.
You know, so people make mistakes of displaying their certificates in houses that, you know, have 3-4 degrees and whatever. That doesn't help anything.
Okay.
2, the Zimbabwean economy, 67% is driven by the informal economy.
Yeah.
That's according to statistics of 2024.
Yeah.
So who is this informal economy? Who is this informal trader?
Yeah.
So the informal traders in Harare, in Bulawayo, Mutare, who are selling, making clothes, selling shoes and stuff like that, these are the proverbial grade 7s.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
These are the proverbial, what we think are Form 4 dropouts, those that get C's and D's, who fail to go into A level and stuff like that, you know. So I'm not despising people who proceed, you know, to A level and have degrees and stuff like that. But I'm saying people have to be pragmatic. You know, a degree alone is not enough. I qualify it as 10% of a necessity for somebody to make it in life. For you to make it in life, it's okay, you have your degree, you have your certificates, but 90% is grit. And grit is found in the streets. There are plenty plus millions, you know, of opportunities out there in this Zimbabwe with our ZiG, with our US dollar for people to make money. But if people look for employment, who is going to employ you? Because the economy changed, you know, after land reform.
Okay. I think it's still on the, you know, Mr. Itai, I spent about 12, 15 years at school trying to get a formal employment. Now I'm done with school. You're expecting me to go back there in the streets and start selling airtime. You know, that is not something realistic. So what can we do? Maybe if you can shed light on what shift of mindset can be done. You know, it's not something that is easy to say, okay, I spent 5 years at university. Now I'm going to sell tomatoes. Maybe something that is not realistic to a graduate or to a master's student.
Okay, so selling of tomatoes seems to paint a picture of that selling tomatoes is dirty. Okay. But you know, money is money. So whether you get your money from selling plastics or tomatoes or you work in a bank, if you get $200, the value remains the same. Okay. So what we are saying is realistically, the formal economy in Zimbabwe has shrunk. Yeah. You know, if for a time I was going to take you through the challenges of what we call economic dualism in Zimbabwe, in that in 1965, this economy had 2 avenues. The formal economy, which was reserved for the white people, big companies, big banks, white-collar jobs and stuff like that, and a huge informal economy, which was reserved for the majority blacks. But the population has since expanded. This country had about 7.5 million in 1980. Now we are almost about 17 million. But the formal economy, the one which was controlled by the white minority, did not grow. It actually collapsed after land reform. So what we are seeing in Zimbabwe is an emergence of what we call a new economy. This new economy needs drivers. And these drivers are the young generation. 67% of Zimbabwe's population is below the age of 40. So who's going to control this economy if the youngsters are looking for employment? So we are saying change the mind. Whether you did a BA in Shona or in Ndebele or whatever, it's okay. Carry it, use those skills for you to sell mopani worms. But don't just sell mopani worms. Go into technology and see how you can export them. Literally anything can be exported. So there's a big market coming out of the Africa-Free Continental Trade Area. I mean, I really wish I were young.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think people will actually benefit from this. Okay, let me hear from you, my sister. What do you think young graduates out there, they are graduated, having university in Zimbabwe, they are recently having thousands of graduates. So what do you think, maybe from your past experience, after completing school, what helped you to thrive in this economy? Whether you're doing a business, whether you're doing your work as a political analyst, what makes you thrive?
Okay, so I graduated 5 years ago, 2022. It's 5 years, right?
Yeah.
I graduated 5 years ago. I did a bachelor in honors, Bachelor of Social Sciences degree in politics and public management from MSU. So I want to be honest because I think my fellow youth needs to hear the truth.
That honest,
Yeah. So I had this view that things are going to be easy for me as someone who was already active in politics in university. I thought it was going to be an easy journey, but it became a bit tough. Kutsvaga basa kunonetsa. Because already it's about who you know, who knows you. Exactly. And even if you know someone, at times, unosvika patone munhu already. That position that you are targeting. Patone munhu, paita say, saka I actually went into depression for a while during that time. Mm-hmm. But what worked for me, I was in Masvingo, that's where I'm based. Yeah. I sat down and thought, all right, this city, what's in it for me? Mm-hmm. My degree is political sciences. Mm-hmm. What am I going to get from this? Exactly. I don't have any, it's not like it's a degree you can do something with skills. You can. Yes, exactly. It's a degree with mind in it. And if you don't do something with it, you will just sit there and be idle and think So I thought of a way. I came to Harare, started to look for opportunities. Exactly. I looked for opportunities. So I think that's what works. You sit down, with a degree rako pa table. Wofunga kuti ora tindoita seko ne degree is. Because at times we might say it's good kuti uite from political sciences.
Exactly. Yeah, so I need to understand how do you manage to shift from, you're a political scientist, but now maybe what you're doing to some extent is not that relevant. Maybe I'm a social worker, but the social work world, there are so many competition, people are doing wonders, and for me, I just have a 2-2 degree. For me to compete is something that is difficult. How can I shift? Maybe now I want to shift to start doing an agricultural business. How can I shift? The realistic is that we don't have money. So how can I shift? Because whatever that we're seeing out there, maybe it's a business, whatever that I want to do, I need capital. And I can't just come to you, Mkomaita, and say, can you borrow me $100? What if the business doesn't work? Where can I get that $100? So how can we shift from just being degree holders and starting doing something that can benefit us?
The challenge is not capital. Yeah. Look, I'm an economist. I've worked, in Africa and in the States and in Europe on economics and this advisory. Yeah. The challenge we have is in the mind, in the mindset. Okay. So you remember I told you, these certificates must not be hung on the walls. Okay. Don't walk out in the streets and tell people with a degree, whatever. It's useless. Okay. It doesn't help. Yeah. People who have made it in the States, these youngsters who have made startups are all college dropouts, or mostly, not all, but mostly college dropouts. Yeah. So the argument I'm trying to advance, to youngsters is that an idea, resides in everyone. Everybody has an idea of how to make money.
Of course, so many ideas, but on implementation, that's why we want here.
So the big issue in Zimbabwe as well is we have dead capital. Yeah. Youngsters in Zimbabwe, if you were to give them $100 or say $5,000, they will rush to buy a car. So we need education on what we call dead capital. Dead capital, okay. Hembe, how many T-shirts and shoes do you need? 2 shoes. 2 pairs of shoes are enough, and 3 T-shirts are enough. Okay. But you find people jostling to spend lots of money, buying shoes and hembes. Yeah. And you come to me and say we don't have capital. That's what you call dead capital. Take hembe zako in your bedroom and sell and start business, okay. Because hembe is just for your fashion. Yes, it's for your proud, to be proud, for your pride. Okay. But there's no return. It's actually a loss in that there's liwanga magundwan and you lose out, So just have what you need, just enough, and do something, Yes, there are so many things, that people can actually do. And look, we really need time to continue this discussion, but also to come back again to ensure that not just the curriculum, but that the mindset of youngsters themselves needs to change.
Okay, so, I'm so interested with what you're saying, Kuti. as you sure, pair 1 or 2, to balance, So I like that, you need to shift our mindset. So yeah, I'm so grateful for that information. This is the realistic that we need to hear, because Takango's ones know you can start a business, but if you don't have that information to say you can have 2 pairs, that enough, and all that money you are getting from maybe from our parents, tongwava tikawana $20, we do something instead of going and buy a lot of clothes, So maybe this is something that many young people need to hear. So from my sister, we're trying to look at the realistic. You said you're a political scientist, and you once came across depression, trying to balance things. So how did you manage that situation?
Okay, before I answer your question, allow me to just dive into what Mukoma Itai was saying. He spoke of kuti, start something, start small. I also tried to start a business during that time. I tried. I really tried, but it failed dismally and made me think kuti maybe zvazvisi zvangu. Maybe zvandakanodzidzira ndo zvandikufanira kuita. So sometimes I think now to answer your question, you need to give yourself time. Give yourself time. Think, what are you good at? What are you good at? It's not all about zvawakanodzidzira. Kune vakanodzidzira what they are good at. Kune vasina kunodzidzira what they are good at. So you need to look at yourself. Think kuti inini saeva joy ndinogona chini. And try to make money out of it. Try to make money out of everything that you can do. Don't do things for free also. Don't do things for free. Even if you think of starting a makeup business, don't put on your sister's makeup for free.
Okay, interesting.
Yes, so that's where it starts kubhadharisawo inini ndine kaskill kangu kakataka vedwe bhadharai, and stuff. You start seeing value in yourself. Unobuda depression that way. For me, that is what worked for me. I started doing gigs, speaking and stuff, and I was getting money out of it. And I saw kutaura pamwe pacho pamwe ndokuchatondoraramisa in life. Yeah.
Thank you so much. If I had a conversation recently with my fellow brother. We're discussing an issue. He wanted a photographer for his graduation. So he asked me, do you know someone who is a good photographer? And I'm saying, so when saying the name I thought when he's going to say, Donald referred me to you, he's going to get a low price, in terms of photograph. And I followed up and I was badra mari and the badra yamupa. Yeah, taura mupa. And I said, why? You should negotiate it. And he raised some sentiments that resonated well with me. When you are into business and when you know your face, it's not always good to say, because that person is trying to make a living, You need to make sure that you capitalize whatever that you're doing. After profit is after a living. So you need to make sure that whatever that you're doing, if it's emergence, it's understandable and reasonable. But there's no, not person ngochema. So yeah, I agree with you, and I'm so grateful to hear from you. If you are hearing from someone who experienced that, you be motivated. So as we are closing our conversation, I think I would love to hear from you, my brother and my sister. What can you say to a young graduate who is out there struggling to earn a living? He's holding a master's degree, he's holding a bachelor's degree in law, in social work, in whatsoever thing. What advice can you give to that person who is trying to make it to life, but it's not balancing? Maybe starting from you.
No, thank you. So don't compete.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Exactly.
No pressure. Don't be hard on yourself.
Okay.
Talk to yourself.
Okay.
What are you good at? Like my sister says here. Yeah. What are you good at?
Okay.
Try and create at least 3 streams of income.
Okay.
I like the fact that you tried business and it failed. If you only tried once, I would ask you to try 5 more times.
5 times.
And it will fail. But the 6th or the 7th time, it will happen. And I speak from experience.
Okay.
I at a personal level, my own personal story is I actually retired from formal work, very good formal work, at the age of 42.
Okay.
Yes. I had made enough money, to do some other stuff. But that's not the story I'm trying to parade, to youngsters here.
Yeah.
But the shock of my life is that I'm actually making more money, from raising chickens, through a commercial venture
Exactly.
than what I thought I was earning.
Exactly.
So what's killing us as young people is too much peer pressure.
Exactly.
This too much on Facebook, on status, on whatever. No. Let's keep it simple.
Yeah.
Yes, follow your dreams, follow your
passion.
passion.
Yeah.
But make money, like she says.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of money. Zimbabwe's economy is still so virgin. We are still so young. There's plenty of spaces for us to make money.
Okay. Yes. Before you conclude, Mr. Itai, you're just saying Zimbabwe, you've got plenty of opportunities, money and stuff. Maybe if you can just share three ways that we can make money as young people in Zimbabwe.
Okay, thank you. So approximately 80% of Zimbabweans have what they call emakaya or kumusha. The challenge is the emakaya economy is not functional because people grow the wrong crops.
Okay.
People grow maize. Maize is a stupid, useless thing. Okay. What people must grow in Zimbabwe?
Yeah.
It's cowpeas.
Yeah.
Nyemba.
Yeah.
It's a lab or what they call lucerne. It's a grass that's sowed.
Okay.
In Botswana and in UAE, they have deserts, and yet they want to grow mbudzi, nguru and stuff like that.
Okay.
So this thing, there's a huge global shortage of this grass.
Okay.
And yet in Zimbabwe, we have plenty of grass.
Okay.
And this grass can be exported.
Yeah.
So can you imagine? But we try to grow maize. What a ton of maize costs $230. But if you sell 200 kgs of grass, you make $300. Use $300 to go and buy maize. But the extra lab, use it for your own hukus and for your own mbuzis and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Do we have beef in Zimbabwe? Do you know we have a shortage of beef, of good beef?
Yeah.
What we eat in Harare is not beef.
Yeah.
That's more like plastic rubberish. That's not beef.
Yeah.
Good beef we found in Masungu and Bulawayo.
Exactly.
Who is going to supply this beef if you and I don't go to produce this beef? Exactly. Where is mbudzi? Where is tsuro? Where is good hukus? Where is turkey?
Okay.
Where is madada?
Exactly.
It's just one. But let's go to fashion. This is African wear.
Exactly.
This was produced in Zimbabwe. Who is producing this? No. So, plenty. Makeup.
Okay.
She spoke of makeup. So, it's plenty plus, depending on, let's go to banking. You are in your street in Mfakose. You have $20. Lend out that money for 10% interest. Within a week, you have $22. Okay. Yes, not for free, like she says. So, where? Plastic waste, dairy body Zimbabwe is saying, pick up these plastic things and come to us, and they buy. Okay. So, where is the problem?
Okay.
Tashaya here kunonhonga marara.
Yeah.
Totengesa marara, macardbox nemaplastic kuti tiwane mari yekutangisa business.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think now it's clear, it's now up to us, to make clear choices. Sometimes it's not about, I always tell my youngster people to say it's not about complaining, but what are you doing? So yeah, it's surely resonating with what you are saying. We need to make sure that we use every opportunity that we see. So maybe parting ways from you, what do you say to young people out there?
Okay, my word of advice to young people out there is don't be afraid to take risks. You won't go anywhere if you are not a risk taker. Okay. You need to be a risk taker in life generally for you to achieve what you want to achieve. And also mistakes are there. Don't beat yourself up. If you try to do something and it failed or you made a mistake somewhere, pick yourself up, dust yourself up, be focused. Have a vision, draw a vision for yourself. You will definitely get there.
Interesting. And thank you so much, guys. In Shona, we say, Maita Basa. We really appreciate your time. You are our teachers. So recently I was listening to Joshua Maponga. I love that man. So he was saying, young people need that education. They need that mentorship. But if you don't have those people who are willing to mentor them, where are they going to get information? So I don't take this time for granted, but I really appreciate your time. And to our viewers and listeners, this was a conversation about our young graduates. And if you are a young graduate listening to this, I think your mindset should shift and more focus on what you are passionate about, and take risk. If you don't risk, you are not going to make it in life. So this is just the first episode of the Solution Generation. And thank you so much. Just stay tuned to our next episode. Thank you so much.